Quantum of Solace. Now, Quantum of Solace was released in 2008 and is set by Marc, Foster and stars Daniel Craig in his second outing as iconic character James Bond. And according to IMDb, this is a plot synopsis for Quantum of Solace. James Bond descends into mystery as he tries to stop a mysterious organisation from eliminating a country's most valuable resource. And according to IMDb, that's the plot synopsis of this film. And I watched the film last night and I didn't even get that. Honestly, Quantum of Solace is just one big, huge mess. Honestly, it's all over the place. It feels like a Bond story in between Bond films, and at the same time, though, it's bland, forgettable, and just such a disappointing sequel to Casino Royale. And that's the biggest crime of Quantum of Solace overall. The fact that it is a sequel to Casino Royale. That's Quantum of Solace's biggest crime, that it's a sequel to Casino Royale. A much better film. Honestly, Casino Royale is so brilliant, and Quantum of Solace is so terrible. Honestly, this film is just a complete and utter mess. However, that's not to say it didn't have a few little perks in there. Like, I think Daniel Craig is good as Bond in this film. I think he isn't as good as he was in Casino Royale, but I still think he does a good job in this film. And at the same time, though, Jeffrey Wright's good to watch in there, so is Judi Dench. And at the same time, though, it's also nice to see David Harbour in there, like a little bit more shouldn't have seen him, but quite a nice way. I enjoyed watching David Harbour in this film. And at the same time, though, the music score by David Arnold isn't bad in this film either. I mean, I do think it's one of his weaker Bond scores, probably there with The World Is Not Enough. Like, I still like David Arnold's Bond score for this film, and I still like David Arnold's Bond score for The World Is Not Enough as well. But I do think this is one of his weaker Bond scores, but I still think it works to a degree in this film, and I do quite like the musical score of the film. But everything else just falls flat, and it's so disappointing in the end, because it's just a complete sort of mess, and it's a sequel to Casino Royale, a much better film. Honestly, it's a direct continuation from that story in Casino Royale, and I just sat there through most of Quantum of Solace confused at what was going on. Like, I didn't want to be, but I was. Like, just in the opening action sequence alone, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I mean, there's this opening car chase, and the editing is so horrific. Like, it's just all over the place. You got some like random shaky cam in there, some random sound effects, and some, shaky camera shots of Daniel Craig as well. But it's just so badly edited that I'm just kind of sitting there going, what the hell is going on? Like, I was watching this film with my dad, and I turned to him halfway through the opening characters and went, I don't have a clue what's going on, because it was just so badly edited. It was just, the editing in this film is so awful. It's some of the worst editing I've seen in a film, period. Honestly, it's so bad. And you don't feel any of the pain in the action sequences. You don't. Like, the brilliant thing about Casino Royale is you felt every single punch in those action sequences. You felt all the pain in that film. And in this film, they keep talking about pain, but you don't feel any of it. They're just like, what is going on in this film? It's just, every action sequence just gave me a headache. I didn't have a clue what was going on. And honestly, when you lose me in your opening action sequence, that's not a good sign. Honestly, from the opening action sequence onwards, I kind of got zoned out for the rest of the film. I was like, I don't have a clue what's going on. And then another action set piece was going on. Like, the editing is just so awful. I just don't have a clue what's happening and where it's happening. I don't have a clue where that character's come from. Okay, that's a shaky cam shot of Daniel Craig's Bond. Where's that come from? The random sound effects. It was all over the place. And at the same time, though, let's talk about David Arnold's Bond score once again. Now, I'm not really going to go on about this, but honestly, I found his score a tad bit disappointing for the film. And I still like his score, even though I do think it's one of his weaker Bond scores. Like, I think it's there with The World Is Not Enough, which I still like the score for that film quite a lot, and I still like the score for this film quite a lot. But honestly, the score didn't work well with the film. I was just listening to David Arnold's Bond score, and I was thinking to myself, this would be so much better if I knew what was going on in the action sequences. If I knew what was actually happening in these action sequences, I'd probably enjoy the score a lot more. I'm not criticising David Arnold there, because in the end, he just had to compose the film that he was set out to compose, and in the end, the film wasn't actually that great, so he just did the best job he could with composing this film. And I understand that the action sequences aren't that well done, so he's basically working off some horrific editing, but still, the score, it wasn't the standard I want it to be. Honestly, we had such a brilliant musical score with Casino Royale, which didn't actually use the main James Bond theme, da-da-ba-doo-ba-doo-da, until the end credits of that film. And you get to this film, and it keeps using the main James Bond theme, it was just a bit like, oh, that isn't as good as it could be. But I still like the score for the film, but it was just a tad bit disappointing, but not as disappointing as everything else in the film. Because honestly, let's continue with the music for the film a sec. The opening Bond song of the film is awful. Like, it's just awful. Like, the tune in the opening Bond song isn't bad, but the lyrics, I didn't even have a clue what they were saying. Like, literally, they get some really muffled lyrics, and the lyrics are just all over the place, and you can't sing along to the Bond song. Like, even the Bond song, Dance With Forever. I'm not a fan of the Dance With Forever song, Dance With Forever by Shirley Bassey. I'm not actually a fan of that song, but at least you can listen to that song, and if you want to, sing along with it. You cannot sing along to the song for Quantum of Solace, because you don't have a clue what they're singing about. It's just some muffled lyrics. It's such an awful Bond song. That's one of the hints that this film was actually going to be quite bad, because when I listened to the opening Bond song, I was like, oh no, this film's going to be bad. Please don't do like a Die Another Day again, because if you remember remember with Die Another Day, you had the Madonna Bond song in that film, and honestly, Madonna Bond song in Die Another Day is just awful. It's terrible. It literally wants to make you rip your ears out. And then you watch the rest of Die Another Day, and the film is as bad as a Bond song. And, well, the same thing happened here. I mean, I didn't want to rip my ears out listening to the Quantum of Solace song, but my god, it was bad, because I didn't have a clue what they were singing about. And like I said before, the best Bond songs, you can sing along to if you want to, like Goldfinger, Moonraker, To a Degree, Spy Love Me, oh, it's not called that, if Nobody Does It Better, Love That Die, Much With Love, and so on and so on and so on. Those are the best Bond songs, because you can sing along to them. You can't sing along to the song for Quantum of Solace, because you don't have a clue what they're singing about. And at the same time, though, let's move on to the characters of the film. All the characters are boring in this film. Like, the Bond girl is not bad. Like, I was happy that she was presented in a powerful way. That was quite good to see in the film, but she's just completely forgettable. Honestly, she'll be on screen like, oh, I'm quite enjoying watching you, and then she'll go for half an hour, and she'll come back and like, I completely forgot you were in this film. I completely forgot you were meant to be the main Bond girl in this film, because honestly, she's just so forgettable. And then when she pops up again, you're just like, I forgot you were in this film. And, in my opinion, she doesn't really serve much purpose to the quote-unquote plot of this film as well, which I just... What was a Bond girl in this film? I was happy she was presented in a powerful way, but she kept going on about pain. And I don't feel your pain though. And at the same time though, let's talk about the big bad Bond villain. Honestly, he's awful. He's actually laughable in some moments of the film. He's laughable in some moments. Like, I'm not even joking. There's one scene in particular where he bumps into Daniel Craig's Bond at the opera house after they've just seen an opera or something like that. And basically, this is the facial expression he gives Daniel Craig's Bond. And I'm not even joking. Something like this. And it's literally like something out of Johnny English or Austin Powers, like a Bond spoof movie. Honestly, I was watching that thinking, is that meant to be serious? He's meant to be shocked that he's seen Daniel Craig's Bond. Like, what was that? And the villain is so boring to watch. He's definitely one of the worst Bond villains in the Bond franchise up to this point. Honestly, he does not hold a candle to Mads Mikkelsen from Casino Royale. Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale is so brilliant, and what they do with that character in the film is so brilliant as well. But in this film, the Bond villain just comes generic again, boring, and completely forgettable. And oh my god, the final fight between Daniel Craig's Bond and the big bad Bond villain is absolutely awful. Like, literally, it's so anticlimactic. The big bad Bond villain is saying to Daniel Craig's Bond, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna make sure you die, Bond. And then a big explosion happens, and then the Bond villain saying, I'm going to kill you, Bond, I'm going to make sure you die, and then another explosion happens, and then the Bond villain's like, I'm going to kill you, Daniel Craig's Bond, and then another explosion happens, and then another explosion happens, and then another explosion, and it's just so anticlimactic. Honestly, it's one of the worst fights I've seen between Bond and the big bad Bond villain at the end of this film. Honestly, it's so awful and just so anticlimactic, and that's just the film as a whole. It's just a complete mess. Honestly, I'm not going to lie here, I zoned out about 10 minutes into the film. I didn't have a clue what was going on in the action sequences. And then the rest of the film, unfolds and everything. And you get a plot that's kind of there, but not really there. But the thing is, though, the plot's just so confusing and so incomprehensible. They just don't really know what's going on through most of the film. And you're going to sit there and go, okay, what's the plot? I don't really get what's going on, to be honest. I don't really care what's going on. But I can't tell what's going on because the editing is so horrific. And everything is just so bad and bland and forgettable and just so dull. Honestly, this film is all over the shop. I didn't have a clue what was going on, and that's a shame overall, because like I said, the worst part about this film is that it is the sequel to Casino Royale, and Casino Royale is so much better. Honestly, you feel the pain in that film. You feel every single punch in the action sequences in Casino Royale. You don't feel a thing in this film. They keep talking about pain, but you don't feel any of it, and it's awful. It's just awful. And it gives me no pleasure in saying that, because I really don't want to like this film. Honestly, it's a sequel to Casino Royale, and I love Casino Royale, but this film was just terrible. It was terrible. And it's also obvious that the writers didn't know what to do with this film as well. Like, honestly, you just get an opening action scene, and then there's a little bit of a plot, not really anything, and then another action scene happens, and it's like, we're going to put a little bit of a plot, and then another action scene happens. It's like, can we slow down the action sequences and just have some more breathing space? We'll actually have some expositions in there which explains what's going on in the plot, but we don't have that in this film. That's a fundamental flaw of it. There's barely any plot exposition, and then when it is in there, it's so boring and dull and just so incomprehensible that you just don't care about what's going on. Honestly, you just don't, and it's just so disappointing, this Bond film. It really is. Quantum of Solace is quite possibly one of the worst Bond films I've seen in the Bond franchise up to this point. It has definitely one of the worst Bond films I've ever seen. It's got such a forgettable Bond girl, and I really want to like the Bond girl in this film actually, because she presented, like I said, in a powerful way. but she's just so forgettable to watch in the film. And at the same time, though, Daniel Craig does the best as Bond. You know, he actually carries quite the film, in my opinion. Like, I know this film was written when the writer's strike was going on, and maybe that's why the writing of the film is just so all over the place. But still, it should have been better. Why didn't they wait after the writer's strike was over and have a really solid script that they could work off? Because in the end, the script is just all over the place, which leads the film to be all over the place, which leads the action sequences to be horrifically edited, which leads the characters to be so boring to watch. And honestly, it's one of the worst Bond films I've ever seen. It's so bad. Honestly, it really is. I didn't think I was going to go as ranted as I did in this review, but nevertheless, it's so disappointing. Like I said, the biggest crime of this film is that it is a sequel to Casino Royale. Because Casino Royale is so brilliant. And Quantum of Solace is so bad. Why is it even called Quantum of Solace as well? There's no reason it's called Quantum of Solace. Like, you understand about Casino Royale, you know, called Casino Royale, that's where the poker game takes place in that film. You know, Spy Love Me, there's a reason it's called that. You know, Goldfinger, the villain in Goldfinger is called Goldfinger. So there's a reason that these Bond films are called what they are. There's no reason for the film to be called Quantum of Solace. I mean, it's not a bad name, but it's not really purposeful to actually what goes on in the film. That's just a small nitpick, but still. Why call it that, though? Why call it that? All in all, like I said before, it feels like a Bond story that takes place in between Bond films. There's nothing interesting about the story. Even when you start to figure out what's actually going on, there's nothing interesting that really goes on there. And it just feels so messy, so incomplete, because the script is all over the place, because of what's going on with the writer's strike at the time. And honestly, it's just so bad to watch, so boring to watch, and it gave me a huge headache. And I wish I liked this film more than I did, because I really like Casino Royale, and this is a direct continuation for Casino Royale. But in the end, I just found this film a complete and utter mess. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Quantum of Solace, I'm going to say that it's a 3 out of 10. Honestly, if you like this film, I'm really happy for you. I know there are a lot of people out there that do actually like Quantum of Solace, and if you do, I'm really happy for you. I'm always happy when someone likes a film more than I do. I mean, I'm someone who doesn't like the MCU, and there's a lot of people that do, and I'm really happy about that. And I'm happy if you like this film as well more than I do. I mean, there's plenty of films out there which I love and other people hate as well. So, you know, all film is subjective, and that's what's absolutely fantastic about it. So if you really like Quantum of Solace, then I'm really happy for you. But personally, if you did like Quantum of Solace, I just don't understand what film you're watching, because in my opinion, it was just so awful and so hard to watch in some moments. Honestly, I completely zoned out in the first half an hour of the film, really. I lost touch with what was going on in the film, and I never want to feel like when watching a Bond film, especially this late in the Bond franchise, especially after Casino Royale, which I was literally on the edge of my seat in some sequences in, and then you get to this film, and I just completely zoned out for almost most of the film, and I don't want to feel that. I want to be really involved with what's going on in the film and everything, and I want to be going along with all the action sequences, which, you know, mentally leap off the screen in the best way possible, but then in this film, the action sequences don't leap off the screen in the best way possible. In fact, they just give you a headache, which they really shouldn't do, but they do, and it's just a huge annoying mess in the end. It should be so much better, and man, I wish it was. It's just terrible in the end. It really is, and it's just one big disappointment. And so, all in all, I hate this, because I really want to like this film, but in the end, I'm just going to say that Quantum of Solace is a 3 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think of Quantum of Solace? Please do comment down below and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway guys, I'm still watching reviewing the Bond films right now, so for the next Bond film review, which will be Skyfall, coming very soon on this channel. Anyway guys, thank you for always watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more, both film and TV, coming very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, but bye for now, bye!